Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Hi,
Hello,
teacher.
teacher.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Hello, everybody. How was your morning?
Good.
Nice to hear. Yeah, it's a little bit sunny here around. Well, is it sunny around your houses? Is it sunny around your places?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always nice. Even though we can't get out a lot, right? Probably some of you have a garden outside. Probably some of you have a yard, and you can go out. You can go outside a little bit. Probably some of you don't. But even then, it is kind of nice to have a little bit of sun around, right? It's good for the soul. Okay, guys. So let's continue. Let's continue where we were in the previous class. And yesterday, we were still speaking about the future and future predictions, right? We were still doing this. So let's continue with this. So share the screen with you. And we're going to continue doing the listening part that we were doing in the previous class, right? In the previous class. We'll retake that a little bit. Just let me find it. For some reason, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. There we go. All right, there we go. So, as you probably remember, we were speaking about these two, well, not speaking of, we weren't speaking about, we were listening to these couple of guys who were talking about all these different topics and how they think the future will be like for those, okay? So, we already covered crime, space travel, environment, energy, and money, right? But oh, I'm sorry, we didn't cover money. Money was still to be done. So let's listen to what they have to say about money, okay? I'm going to quiet down your microphones for a second, but remember, if you want to speak, you can turn them on, okay? You could also raise a hand on something and I'll see it, and then I can address whatever question you have or whatever you want to say, okay? Okay, so let's listen again.
Page 68. Exercise 11. Listening. Not in our lifetime. Part A. Listen to people discuss changes that will affect these topics in the future. Write down 2 changes for each topic.
Okay,
5.
let's go to money.
Money.
With all the technology we use every day, sometimes it feels strange that we're still using paper money that can rip or get damaged.
Yeah, it seems old-fashioned next to credit cards with chips and sensors, doesn't it? It's just a matter of time before paper money isn't made at all anymore.
You think so?
Definitely. No one will use cash, and everyone will have cards.
If that happens, then I think everyone in the world will eventually use the same currency.
So only one currency and no more cash? It sounds a lot easier, but I'm sure there will be new problems too.
Oh, there always are.
Page 60.
All right, guys. So, what are some of their predictions about money? What do they say about money? If you want to speak, please turn on your microphone, okay?
No one will use cash and everyone will have cards.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. No one will use cash anymore. No one will be using cash anymore. What is the meaning of cash?
Efectivo.
Dinero.
Exactly.
Efectivo.
Perfect. That's right. Very good. Dinero en efectivo. Efectivo. Yes, very good. So no one will use cash anymore. And I'm sorry, what was the other prediction?
They will use only cards.
Yes, only cards, right? Debit, credit cards, electronic money, things like that. All right, very good, very good. So now, let's listen to it with the transcription, with the script, and Let's see how close it got to what you said. And also, pay attention to this because there might be some new details. There might be some little things you missed. So we'll listen to it again and then again without the script. And that's going to help you improve your listening also, right? Okay, so let's do it. Let me just display the script and please listen and also take a look at the screen, okay?
5. Money.
With all the technology we use every day, sometimes it feels strange that we're still using paper money that can rip or get damaged.
Before we continue, do you know what is the meaning of rip? What is the meaning of rip? Anybody?
No.
Or even if you don't know, try to guess. What do you think is the meaning of rip?
Como tira de papel.
Rip es más bien como rasgarse, ¿sí? Rip. For example, in Spanish, if we say, no rompas eso, podría hablar de un papel, ¿no? No rompas de ese papel, no rompas el billete, cuidado, rompas el billete. En inglés no usaríamos break para esos casos. We wouldn't use break for that. For things like paper, and also things for things like a cloth, una tela, things like that, we would say rip. So for example, if you're speaking about clothes as well, if you're speaking about clothing items, like for example, a shirt or a skirt or something like that, you might say, oh, damn it, my shirt ripped. No dirían algo como se rasgó mi camisa, no se rompió mi camisa. Aunque bueno, en español también va medio por ese lado, ¿no? Pero para papel, sobre todo, nosotros sí usamos mucho el romper, mientras que en inglés no se usa el romper, se usa el rasgar, ¿sí? Rip, ¿ok? Rip. You could also use it for something like, for example, I ripped a muscle. I ripped a muscle. I ripped a muscle. Me rasgué un músculo. I had an accident. I was, I don't know, I was playing some sport. I was playing basketball, and something happened, and I ripped my muscle. Okay, so rip, rasgar. All right, very good. Or get damaged, o dañarse, ¿no es cierto? All right, very good. Yes.
Se ocuparía lo mismo, así como para decir pantalones rasgados, ripped jeans.
Yes. Buena, en realidad eso está muy cerca. Para eso suele usarse más torn jeans, que es muy similar a rip. Es muy similar a rip. La rip y el verbo base sería tear, que se escribe igualito a tear, a lágrima, ¿sí? Pero si a esa misma palabra como lágrima que ustedes probablemente conocían, T-E-A-R, si a tear le pronuncio distinto, le pronuncio tear, eso significa también rasgar, muy similar a rip. Y el participio de tear es torn. Entonces, torn podría ser rasgado, ¿no? Jeans rasgados, torn jeans. Para ese caso, aunque está muy bien lo que usted está pensando, rip es casi lo mismo, pero para el caso en particular, por costumbre, se les dice torn jeans, ¿ok? All right.
Gracias, teacher.
You're welcome. Now, let's listen to this one more time, and then let's listen to the reply that the woman gives, okay?
With all the technology we use every day, sometimes it feels strange that we're still using paper money that can rip or get damaged.
Yeah, it seems old-fashioned next to credit cards with chips and sensors, doesn't it? It's just a matter of time before paper money isn't made at all anymore.
Yeah, that's what you said. Very good. Now, a question. What is the meaning of seem? The verb, not see, sim with an M. It seems. What is the meaning of that?
Parecer.
Yeah, very good. Parecer, sim. Like, for example, it seems like it's going to be a sunny day. Parece que va a ser un día soleado, ¿no? Well, he seems tired. Él parece cansado, se ve cansado. Parecer, correcto. Sim. Very good. So, yeah, it seems old-fashioned. Parece anticuado, pasado de moda, ¿no es cierto? Yeah, it seems old-fashioned next to credit cards with chips and sensors, doesn't it? It's just a matter of time before paper money isn't made at all anymore, okay?
Yeah, it seems old-fashioned next to credit cards with chips and sensors, doesn't it? It's just a matter of time before paper money isn't made at all anymore.
You think so?
Definitely. No one will use cash, and everyone will have cards.
If that happens, then I think everyone in the world will eventually use the same currency.
Question here, and please turn on your microphones to reply. What is the meaning of currency? What is the meaning of currency?
Moneda.
Moneda, that's right, very good. But not, for example, a moneda that you can have in your pocket, right? If I'm speaking about, you know, for example, una moneda de $1, una moneda de 5 centavos, a dollar, en ese caso utilizaríamos coin, right? C-O-I-N, coin. Like, for example, or I have a 10 cents coin here. Tengo una moneda de 10 centavos aquí. Ahora es interesante, en inglés las monedas también tienen nombres, ¿no? Nombres que se usan típicamente. Pero sí, correcto, si es que no estoy hablando de físicamente una moneda que yo puedo llevar en mi bolsillo, sino de cuál es la moneda de un país, then you say currency. Like, for example, what is the currency in Ecuador? What is the currency that we use in Ecuador?
Dólar.
That's right, very good. What is the currency they use in Peru?
Sol.
Sol.
Yeah, that's right. What is the currency they use in Mexico?
Pesos.
Peso mexicano.
Yep, that's right. And as you said, well, yeah, there are pesos from many places, right? And what do they use in? What do they use in most of Europe? What do they use in most of Europe?
Euros.
The euro.
Yeah, that's right. And let's pronounce this one euros, okay? Euros.
Euros.
Very good.
Euro.
Excellent, very good. Euros. So they use the euro in Europe. Noten, igual, Europa también, ¿no? Europe y euro, euro. Very good, very good. What do they use in Canada? What do they use in Canada?
Canada dollar.
Yes, the Canadian dollar, correct. Very good, very good. They use the Canadian dollar, which is not the same as the US dollar, as the United States dollar, right? We use the US dollar actually,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, that's right. In Canada, very good. They use the Canadian dollar. Do they know? Do you know what they use in England?
What do you say libra esterlina?
Good question. Libra is pound, pound. P-O-U-N-D. P-O-U-N-D, pound. And that is both the weight measurement, es la medida de peso. For example, I don't know, he's 160 pounds, él pesa 160 libras, but also the currency, for example. So yeah, very good, very good. In England, they use pounds. Las libras esterlinas se les conoce simplemente como pounds en inglés, right? So very good, pounds.
But in Spanish,
Libra esterlina.
it's different.
Yes, in Spanish it's different. That's right.
Okay.
Claro, en español tendríamos, bueno, claro, se podría, obviamente por el contexto también decir, esto cuesta 26 libras, y solo decirlo así porque obviamente por el contexto sé que no estoy hablando de pesos, sino de dinero, pues, ¿no es cierto? Pero sí, claro, tengo la libra esterlina,
Claro.
sin embargo, en inglés se les conoce simplemente como pounds, en todo caso. Right? Very good. Pero sí,
Right.
también, nuevamente, pound también es la medida de peso. Es ambas cosas. Es la libra esterlina, pero también es la libra que quisiéramos perder. también son las libras, o ganar en ciertos casos, no las libras de peso, right? Very good. Yeah, that's right. Okay, very good. And notice that, yeah, that happens. Like here in, what do we usually use to measure things, para medir cosas? Do we use here in Ecuador, for example, the English system or the metric system?
The metric system.
We usually use the metric system,
English.
right? Well, and there's something interesting here in Ecuador, for example. When you're speaking about length, cuando hablamos de longitud, we usually use the metric system, right? For example, no sé, de cuánto mide esta mesa, o a qué distancia estamos de cañar, cosas así, ¿no? So we use meters, kilometers, centimeters, millimeters, right? That's what we use for length. usamos el sistema métrico. We use the metric system, the decimal metric system for length. But sometimes when we are speaking about weight, suena casi como esperar, pero se escribe distinto, no? Weight, peso. When we're speaking about weight, a lot of times here in Ecuador, we use the English system, right? Do you ever speak about weight in pounds? ¿Hablan del peso en libras en Ecuador? Yo diría que sí, ¿no es cierto? Con mucha frecuencia, right?
Yes.
That's right. So it's interesting because here we make sort of like a mixture. We use the metric system for length, but we use the English system for weight, right? In the United States, as you might imagine, they use the English system for everything, right? And in many places in Europe, in England also, they use the English system for everything. And in many places in Europe, they use the metric system for everything. So for example, I don't know, if you go to Norway, for example, si se van a Noruega, people don't speak in pounds, people always speak in kilos, right? La gente no habla para nada en libras, siempre habla en kilos. Aquí sí usamos el kilo también, por supuesto, pero se usa bastante libras también, ¿no es cierto? Inclusive si van al mercado, aquí se usa mucho todavía medidas bien ancestrales como quintales, arrobas, cosas por el estilo, ¿no?
Onzas.
Yeah, that's right, onzas, exactly, an ounce. And also in the United States, they're going to be using ounces and pounds. But if you go to Europe, well, in England also, the English system, right? Pounds and ounces. But if you go to Sweden, for example, Suecia, or if you go to Switzerland, Suiza, people are going to be using kilograms, grams, things like that, right? So just a little parenthesis there that it's interesting. Or also, since we're speaking about length, aquí, para decir la estatura de alguien, la diríamos en sistema decimal, pues, ¿no es cierto? Ella mide 1,58, él mide 1,74, se me ocurre, ¿no? But in English, we don't say it like that. We always speak in feet and inches, right? Feet. What is the meaning of feet?
Pies.
That's right. And what is the meaning of inches?
Pulgadas.
That's right, correct. Like, for example, you know, a foot, un pie, a foot is around, it's not, I'm just getting closer, right? Solo estoy haciendo una aproximación. But a foot is around 30 centimeters, right? And an inch, well, an inch is exactly 2.54 centimeters, so around 2.5 centimeters, right? So they always speak in feet and inches. For example, they wouldn't say, I don't know, él mide 1.82. They wouldn't say he's 182, 1 meter and 82 centimeters. They would say he is 6 feet tall. Él mide 6 pies, que es más o menos 1.82, ¿no es cierto? O si mide más, he's 6'2". 6 feet and 2 inches. Sería como 1.87, algo así, ¿me comprenden? Do you get it? So that is also, it's useful to know that. So that was a parenthesis regarding this. And all of it came because of currency, right? So one more time, if you're speaking about the little physical metal things, that the metal money, that is a coin. But if you're speaking about the kind of money that you use in a country, speaking about dollars and pounds and pesos and everything, that is the currency, okay? That is your currency. Okay, let's listen again.
If that happens, then I think everyone in the world will eventually use the same currency.
So only one currency and no more cash? It sounds a lot easier, but I'm sure there will be new problems too.
Oh, there always are.
So that's interesting, right? So, and that was another prediction. So yeah, one of the predictions is that there will be no more cash. Therefore, people are going to be using credit cards, and the other prediction is that the whole world, el mundo entero, the whole world will have the same currency, right? Which might happen, like for example, in Europe, sort of what happened with the euro. However, some countries reject that idea. Like for example, England, they didn't want to use the euro. They wanted to keep using their pounds, right? But yeah, interesting anyway. It's interesting nonetheless. Now, let's do something. So now you have the answers for all of this. Let me show you. So yeah, these were the predictions. So for crime, there will be less crime. Crime will become more intelligent and digital. There will be more computer hacker criminals. For space travel, if you remember what they said yesterday, yeah, if you will notice that's what they say here. People will be living on other planets within 100 years. Humans will have traveled to other galaxies within the next 50 years. I think that's very unlikely. Yo creo que eso es muy poco probable. That's very unlikely. But anyway, now number 3, environment. In the next 20 years, we will have cleaned up all the trash in the oceans. In the next 30 years, we will have eliminated plastic and found better materials. Now, regarding number 3, what do you think? Is this an optimistic view or a pessimistic view? In number 3, is this optimistic or pessimistic?
Optimistic.
Very optimistic. Yeah. This is much more optimistic than what I think will happen. This is a much more optimistic prediction. My predictions are much more pessimistic, frankly. Now, number 4, energy. In 50 years, we will be using only green energy sources like wind and solar energy. We will be able to charge electronics in just a few minutes. And finally, for money, no one will use cash and everyone will have cards. Everyone in the world will use the same currency. Okay? Let's repeat this. Currency. Let's repeat.
Currency.
Currency.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. I love to hear your beautiful voices and your nice pronunciation, because quite honestly, your pronunciation is very good. Now, let's listen again to everything, okay? Now that you know the answers, now that you have the answers, let's listen to the whole thing again. Escuchemos toda la cosa de nuevo, but without the script, okay? Without the script, just listening. But before we do that, let's remember a little bit of vocabulary that we saw yesterday. Do you remember how to say combustible in English? Remember how to say combustible in English? Yeah.
Oil.
Oil podría ser el petróleo, correcto, está por ahí, ¿no? Oil es el petróleo, pero ya, y sí, el petróleo directamente puede ser un combustible. Pero típicamente, sí, puede ser también, gas es la gasolina, ¿no es cierto? Y en general, combustible, fuel, F-U-E-L, F-U-E-L, ajá, fuel, lo escribimos, ¿no? Right? Fuel. And that is also, well, you know, especially in the United States, people to refer to gasoline, para hablar de la gasolina, que tenemos ese término también, gasolina, right? Lo cual me recuerda una canción que odio, pero nada más. Podríamos usar la palabra gas for that. We can use the word gas, but also the word fuel. Also the word fuel, okay? Fuel lo escribiríamos, ¿no? Right? Take a look at this. Just a second. Let me show you a song. You might like it, you might hate it, but just a second. Let's do that, all right? Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yes.
All right. So what is the name of this song? Let's listen to it just a little bit. Tell me if you hear the audio, okay? Oh, the internet is a little bit slow now.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me...
Okay, let me load it a little bit. Yeah, let it load for a moment, okay? Let it load. But the first part he said, give me fuel. What is the meaning of give me fuel?
Combustible.
Ajá, fuel, combustible o gasolina. ¿Y qué será eso? Give, lo que dijo el cantante. Give me fuel. What do you think is the meaning of that? ¿Qué será give me fuel?
Dame combustible.
Dame
Como que me
combustible, dame
des
gasolina, ¿sí?
esa gasolina,
Ajá,
energía,
claro.
por así decir.
Ajá, exactamente. Lo cual me recuerda a lo de dale más gasolina, pero esto es otro género completamente. Right. Listen to it a little bit. Listen to the lyrics a little bit, okay?
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Turn on, I see red. Adrenaline crash, crack my head. Natural sugar, paint me dead.
All right. I don't know. Let me, for some reason, I think the screen isn't getting shared, although it should. I don't know if you saw that. ¿Pudieron ver eso? ¿Y escuchar o no?
Yes, teacher.
All right, very good, very good. For some reason, I'm not getting the little green frame that shows around the screen for some reason. But anyway, video was getting showed, so you might like the song, you might hate the song, but anyway, this is gonna help you remember. So fuel, combustible, right? Fuel, it's like gasoline, for example. It's your most typical kind of fuel. Okay. Same. Now let's go back to the book for a moment. All right. Now, how do you say in English combustibles fósiles? Remember that?
Fossil fuel.
Fossil fuels.
Excellent. Very good. Fossil or fossil fuels. That's right. Fossil fuels. If you remember this a little bit, it would be this, right? Very good. Combustibles fósiles. Now, there were some other interesting things. Like, for example, and yeah, how do you say petróleo in English?
Oil.
Oil. Very good. And probably you knew that oil also means aceite. But if you take a look at, si ven el petróleo, it looks oily, se ve aceitoso, ¿no es cierto? So that is the reason why we also call it like that, oil. What is the meaning of gas? What is the meaning of gas? Anybody?
¿No es una relación también a la gasolina?
Yes, that's right. So actually, yeah, very good. It has two meanings. It has two meanings. It can be gas como en español. Gas is el gas como en español, but it is also gasolina. So a lot of times when you're speaking about gasolina, you say gas. De hecho, para decir gasolina, en resumen, podemos decirlo de tres formas en inglés. Voy a poner al revés ahora, primero en español, first in Spanish. Okay, so gasolina, it could be gasoline, which is like the easiest, but not necessarily the most common one. Para nuestra perspectiva es la más fácil, pero no es necesariamente la más común. So gasoline, or also gas, simply gas, or also fuel, even though fuel is combustible in more general terms, right? But we also use the word fuel a lot for gasolina because gasoline is a fuel. So gasoline, gas, or fuel, they are all words for gasolina too, okay? Now, do you remember what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of coal? Remember that?
Carbón.
Very good.
Carbón.
Carbón. Uy, casi le escribo mal y hubiese sido terrible, pero no. All right, coal, carbón. Very good. Now, what else did we have yesterday? Okay, what is the meaning of these? Green energy.
Energía verde.
Energía renovable.
Renovable.
Sí, por ahí va, exacto. Podría ser como, literalmente, claro, energía verde. Le podríamos entender como energía renovable o ecológica. Sobre todo como ecológica, ¿no? That's right, very good. Very good. Yes, green energy. Yeah, when you're speaking in English, A lot of people love the term green for everything that is ecological. But as I was saying yesterday, the word ecological is not very common in English. The word green is a lot more common, right? Okay, very good. And now, what is the meaning of this? Resources and sources. We have these two similar words, but they are not exactly the same. There is a difference. First of all, what is the meaning of resources?
Recursos.
Very good.
Fuentes.
Recursos. That's right. Very good. And what is the meaning of sources?
Fuentes.
Perfect. Very good. Very good. Now, if we're speaking about, the typical thing you have on a park with water, a eso normalmente no se le dice source, a eso se le dice fountain, que suena más parecido a fuente, ¿no? Fountain, que viene del latín y francés, ¿no? Fountain. Pero sí, si es que es una fuente de energía, una fuente de alimentos, una fuente de lo que sea, una fuente de estrés, una fuente de problemas, fuente de lo que sea, that is a source, okay? All right, very good, very good. So don't forget this vocabulary. And now let's listen to the whole thing again. Escuchemos todo nuevamente. No script this time, sin el guión, but just the audio, okay? Let's listen.
Page 68. Exercise 11. Listening. Not in our lifetime. Part A. Listen to people discuss changes that will affect these topics in the future. Write down 2 changes for each topic. 1. Crime.
Well, I think crime will completely change in the future.
How so?
Nowadays, people use their debit and credit cards more than they use cash. How we spend money is changing. I think there will be less street crime in the future. Crime will become more intelligent and digital. There will be more computer hacker criminals.
That sounds more serious.
I know. Crimes will definitely become more severe. Instead of stealing some cash from my purse, a criminal could go online to my bank account and steal a lot more. It's scary to think about.
2. Space travel.
Do you really think people will live in space in the future? I don't know if I believe that.
Oh, definitely. I think within 100 years, people will be living on other planets.
Really? Like you and I could be living on another planet?
Well, not in our lifetime. But I think within the next 50 years, humans will have traveled to other galaxies.
Yes, I agree with that. And what about extraterrestrial life? Will we have made contact with aliens from other galaxies?
I don't know. But if we do, I sure hope they're friendly.
3. Environment.
Every time I read the newspaper, there's another environmental disaster. Do you think environmental problems will eventually become a thing of the past?
Definitely. There are some amazing ideas to clean up our oceans. I think in the next 20 years, we will have cleaned up all the trash in the oceans.
I sure hope so. Some of those garbage patches in the ocean are larger than some countries.
I know. I read that non-biodegradable trash is the biggest problem in the oceans and on land.
Non-biodegradable trash, like plastic?
Exactly. I think in the next 30 years, we will have eliminated plastic and found materials to use that are better for the environment.
4. Energy.
You know, I was reading this article about energy of the future. Fossil fuels like oil and coal have become our main energy sources.
Yeah, but we need safer energy.
This article says we're making progress with other kinds of energy. It predicts that in 50 years, we will be using only green energy sources, like wind and solar energy.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
And it said that with electronic devices, we won't have to wait for them to charge. We'll be able to charge our phones or computers in just a few minutes.
5. Money.
With all the technology we use every day, sometimes it feels strange that we're still using paper money that can rip or get damaged.
Yeah, it seems old-fashioned next to credit cards with chips and sensors, doesn't it? It's just a matter of time before paper money isn't made at all anymore.
You think so?
Definitely. No one will use cash, and everyone will have cards.
If that happens, then I think everyone in the world will eventually use the same currency.
So only one currency and no more cash? It sounds a lot easier, but I'm sure there will be new problems too.
Oh, there always are.
All right, very good. So now, let's do a little bit of reading now, okay? So let's go into the next page. Just let me, for some reason, it's giving me some problems to handle today. But anyway, here we go. Sometimes it freezes up a little bit. Sometimes it freezes up a little bit. Let's see if we can make it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so in these last minutes, let's take a look at this text, looking into the future. This is an interesting expression, right? In Spanish, we would say something like mirar al futuro, pero en inglés noten que es como mirar hacia adentro del futuro, looking into the future. So imagine yourselves doing this, like physically, como espiando, no? Looking into the future. Now, let's take a look at what it says here. The command, the order says, skim the article. Remember, we were speaking about scanning and skimming the other day, and I told you that skim, it's like desnatar, right? We have these two reading techniques. If you say scan, that is to very quickly look for specific information, like, for example, years, numbers, data, names, things like that. But if you say skim, it is like reading quickly just to get the gist of the reading, to get the general idea, the main idea. Okay, so let's do that. Skim the article. Which sentence below could be another title for the article? So the title of the article is looking into the future, but let's look for a proper alternative, okay? So skim the article. Which sentence below? What is the meaning of below? What is below? Yeah, debajo. That's right, very good. Debajo. So, which sentence below could be another title for the article, and why? So, professionals who can change the future, good guesses about the future, an unhappy view of the future. Okay, so let's read the article very quickly and tell me which of those sentences could be another title for it. Okay, just let me put it here so that you can read. All right. Okay, so very quickly, let's read the article. Read the article as quick as you can, okay? Let's see if we can do this in 1 minute, okay? Let's do it, from starting now. Okay, guys, so the idea of this was to read not in detail, not to reverb everything slowly, but to read everything very quickly, just to get the picture, to get the gist, to get the main idea of things, right? Not details. So now, what do you think? Which of these titles could also fit this? Professionals who can change the future, good guesses about the future, or an unhappy view of the future? What do you think would be the best title for this?
I think in the second one.
The second one, good guesses about the future.
Good guess.
Good guesses about the future.
Very good. Yeah, that's right. Very good, very good. Yeah, because if you took a look at the article, an unhappy view of the future, well, it's not that, right? They are actually mentioning very positive things about the future, right? So it's definitely not an unhappy view of the future. Maybe some problems are being presented, but it's not the main focus, right? Now, professionals who can change the future, yeah, they mentioned some of that, right? They mentioned things that might happen, but good guesses about the future, buenas suposiciones acerca del futuro, this could be the main focus, right? Because that is what they're giving us. And there's also speaking about futurists. Now, what are futurists? Precisely that. Professionals who make predictions about the future, not who do things to change the future, right? Okay, so very good, very good. Good guesses about the future would be your best choice. Very good. Now, this time, let's read in a little bit more detail, okay? I suggest you make a screen capture of this, okay? I suggest you make a screen capture of the text so that then we can take a look into the questions and you can answer them, okay? But let's read now for about 10 minutes. Let's read in more detail for about 8 minutes, okay? For the next 8 minutes, let's read in more detail, all right? And again, I suggest you make a screen capture of this so that if I have to change the screen or something, you still have it to read, okay? You might make a screen capture or take a picture, whatever you like. Okay, let's read. Now you can take your time. Let's read in detail.
Hello, teacher?
Yes, tell me, Mateo.
Hello?
Yes, I hear you. Remember, if you have any questions about the vocabulary or anything, if there is anything you don't understand very well, you can ask me, okay? I'm sorry, I think I'm not showing everything. No, yeah, it was fine. It was fine, sorry.
Hello.
Which one? Along?
Hello, teacher.
Yes, Mateo.
Sorry, teacher, my internet, it's very bad at connection.
Never mind. It's okay. If you already finished reading, read again so that you can get a little bit more comprehension, okay? Okay, guys. All right, everyone. Questions about vocabulary. Was there anything you didn't understand or anything that is a little bit difficult? Couldn't just, it might not just be a word, but a sentence, anything. Was it all clear? Everything was clear?
Teacher, mushroom city.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
Mushroom cities.
Mushroom cities. Good question. Now, what is a mushroom? Do you know what is a mushroom? This is un hongo, específicamente un champiñón, ¿no? Les llaman mushroom cities por la forma de organización, the way the architecture is going to be built. Have you ever seen mushrooms? ¿Han visto cómo crecen los hongos en la naturaleza y cómo van súper apegados unas partes, pero también empiezan a crecer unos sobre otros, ¿no? Entonces a esto se refiere un tanto con esto de mushroom cities, all right? Probably you could Google images of mushroom cities and you could have a better idea of what this is about. But good question, very good question. All right, very good. Anything else? Do you know what is the meaning of skyscrapers? Skyscrapers? Rascacielos, that's right.
Rascacielos.
Yes, correct. Exactly, rascacielos. Very
Teacher,
good.
I don't know, but in the in the text says telepresence. I don't know what is that.
Telepresence is actually very much as what we are having right now. For example, we are not having a face-to-face class where I can see you all in the same room, right? But somehow we are together right now. I am speaking with you, Mateo, and with everybody. So that is telepresence. That is telepresence. However, this is like a more advanced thing. Like, for example, let's suppose we could have like holograms. Think of a science fiction movie. Think of holograms and a virtual environment in which we could all be together just like in a real classroom, even if we weren't. Like, it's kind of like the Matrix also, right? Entonces, es telepresencia, ¿no es cierto? Similar a lo que está pasando este rato con lo que hacemos con Zoom, pero imagínense que pudiéramos estar con hologramas de cada uno, no viendo a la computadora, sino como en un espacio que nos rodease, como en un aula, literalmente un aula virtual, ¿no? Un aula que simulase algo como de un juego de realidad virtual, pero en la que todos estuviéramos ahí. Y es una posibilidad a futuro, pues, ¿no es cierto? Si la tecnología ha avanzado hasta donde estamos ahora en relación a donde estábamos hace 30 años, pues imagínense qué podría pasar en 30 años más, ¿no? Right? So that is the idea of telepresence. That is the idea of telepresence. Okay. Now,
thanks, teacher.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now let's take a look at these questions that we have below the text. Remember that I asked you to make a screen capture of the text, and let's try to, in the minutes that we have left, let's try to answer these 8 questions, okay? So read the article. Check the predictions futurists made about the year 2050. Okay, now, before we continue, just as a tip, it is always a good idea when you have a reading, for example, for a test, it is always a good idea to follow this procedure. Don't go straight into the questions. No vayan directo a las preguntas. Cuando tengan un texto y preguntas debajo, a menos que ya no les quede casi nada de tiempo, pues ahí sí tendrían que hacerlo. Pero en general lo mejor sería esto. No vayan directo a las preguntas. Don't go straight into the questions. Read the text quickly before. Lean todo el texto rápidamente, así no lo entiendan a detalle, para tener una idea general de qué se trata. En alrededor de 1 o 2 minutos, leer el texto rápido, ¿no? Luego, then, after you read the text quickly, read the text in detail. Luego de leer el texto rápidamente para tener la idea general, léanlo a detalle para irlo entendiendo mejor y cada parte. And then, after you do that, then go to the questions. Luego de que hayan hecho eso, ahora sí vayan a las preguntas, y de lo que vayan viendo de las preguntas, les va a dar mucho más fácil ir regresando a las partes del texto a donde necesiten para asegurarse de cosas y demás, ¿sí? So that is a tip in general for reading and for reading exercises, ¿ok? Cuando ya no tengamos el tema del coronavirus y demás, y van a dar una prueba, por ejemplo, con hoja ahí frente al profe, podrían aplicar esto y les prometo que da mejores resultados. Por mi experiencia se los diría, por mi propia intuición también, pero sobre todo les digo por estudios que hay al respecto, ¿ok? Very good. Now, let's try to answer these questions. Say 1 through 8. So we have to check only the predictions that the futurists made, only the ones from the article, okay? If they didn't predict, if you don't see that in the article, then don't check it, okay? Don't make a check. All right, guys. Since we don't have a lot of time left, I'm just going to check the answers with you very quickly. Okay, I'm just going to show you the answers and see if you got them right or not. Okay, if you didn't get them right, please reread the article and try to find out why you made a mistake. Okay, but here's the answers. So the predictions that were made by the futurists were predictions 2, 4, and 6. Those were the only ones that were in the text. How did you do? ¿Cómo les fue? How did you do?
Very good.
Okay, great, great. Nice, nice. So yeah, tiny computers will help people with physical problems. Do you know what is the meaning of tiny? Do you know what is the meaning of tiny?
Pequeños.
Yes, como pequeños. Ahora, claro, pequeño también podríamos decir small. Tiny es aún más, exacto, como diminuto, ¿no? Muy, muy pequeño. Tiny. No sé si vieron alguna vez los Looney Tunes con Bugs Bunny, con todos esos. Pues también había un dibujo animado que se llamaba Tiny Toons, que eran como versiones chiquitas de Bugs Bunny, de Pato Lucas y todo eso, ¿no? So tiny, yeah, that's right. Now, number 4, people will be able to explore places without leaving home. How do you say this in Spanish? How do you say this in Spanish? People will be able to explore places without leaving home. How do you say that in Spanish?
Las personas serán capaces de explorar lugares sin salir de casa.
Exactly. Perfect. Very good. And number 6, many people will live together in eco-friendly buildings. You understand this, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Very good. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Now, just to finish. Okay, for Monday, guys, our homework will be to write a paragraph about future predictions, okay? About the predictions that you have for the future, not your own personal future, but the future of the world, okay? And I'm going to give you more details via WhatsApp about this, and it's going to be on the campus. I have to show you where in the virtual campus that's going to be, okay? But it's for Monday, so I'll tell you in a moment, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome, guys. You're welcome.
Thank you
You're
very
welcome,
much.
everybody. See you Monday then. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.